He simply laughed it off. Psychopath. If you were hoping this is gonna be a video of me fawning over some hot pretty boy, you thought wrong. I'm sitting here judging him this entire video. The more I see, the less I know, the more I like to let it go. Hey, ooh. Hi, I'm the Fire Guardian. We're just gonna get right into it. I'm done with these intros, bro. I'm not good at them. Sometimes dating in Colorado felt harder than it had any right to be. You searched in places no one should ever have to search. Like speed dating with a guy who looked twice your age and lived in his mother's basement. Oh. Or maybe it was the endless void of Tinder, where every swipe led to the same dead-end conversations, where it was clear most people only wanted one thing. You really did try, honestly. But despite your efforts, you came up empty. I gotta turn this down. I'm about to sit here and start singing instead of I can't. That was until that night. Fun fact, if you watched my Cemetery Mary series, thank you for one. 2, you would know that I do not like cemeteries or dead people. So I was kind of, this game did catch my eye, but I was kind of wary about playing it because I was like, I don't know, I don't like cemeteries, but you know, it's just a game. Like, it's just a game. You'll be fine. You went to some overrated, overpriced warehouse party with some bad lighting and ear-deafening music. Not exactly your scene, but your friends had practically dragged you there. Put yourself out there, they said. Meet someone new. Someone different, they said. And someone different it was. You just gone through a messy breakup, and let's face it, far too many nights spent single. You weren't exactly desperate. If you had just went through the breakup, how is it way too many nights? See, that's your problem right there. It sounds like you might actually high-key be desperate. But it would have been nice. Nice to have someone to talk to. Someone to share a drink with, or maybe something more. Romantically speaking, of course. And that's how you met Avon. Though it wasn't exactly the stuff of fairy tales. This dude already looks kind of creepy. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not feeling it. But we're gonna see if he got the riz. If he got the charm, the charisma. Not in some our eyes met across the room kind of way or love at first sight. Oh no. You met him face first. Practically body slamming him into your drunken sprint to the bathroom. Turns out that one shot too many and your lifelong lightweight status didn't mix too well. Who knew? But instead of brushing you off like any other shitty college guy would, he helped. He actually helped. Held your hair back like some knight in a slightly wrinkled flannel that's seen the wash way too many times to count. Made sure you didn't pass out on the cold tile of the bathroom floor as your lunch made its ever so grand appearance in the toilet. He stayed until the room stopped spinning, or at least slowed down a little. Now, normally you wouldn't give your number out to any random guy you've only known for the duration of a bad life choice. But after someone's literally held your hair while your dignity shot through your mouth, it would have been kind of rude not to. No, I don't really think so. High key, this is like bare minimum human decency behavior. I'm just saying. In the car of a guy who helped you while you were involuntarily purging your stomach. What the fuck am I doing here? You must have been scowling because you were snapped out of your thoughts by a smooth, soft voice. What are you thinking about? You got that far off look. Like an angry cat. Was it obvious? He stifled a small laugh, glancing you over slowly. Well, now you look confused. Are you planning an escape route or something? He was always so teasing, even over text after the party. And that was no different. Oh, me just thinking about how we met. It was an odd way to meet a date, that's for sure. But you wanted to give it a chance. Like I said, bare minimum. The party, right? You could barely remember your own name. Wait, what was it again? Bro, he smirked, clearly teasing. You narrowed your eyes but played along anyway. What's your name? Jim is truly outrageous. Alright, Jim. Surprised you could remember it. He turned in the fence, laughing in shock. Hey, first date and you're still teasing me? He chuckled and rolled his eyes, keeping one hand on the steering wheel. First date? Bro, I've been with my husband like all together. Our whole relationship has been like, 8 years, going on 9. He still teases me to this day. So, if you get with a teasing ass person, you're gonna deal with that for the rest of your life. Putting his free hand up, he sighed and feigned defeat. Force of habit, I suppose. I'll have you know, I excel at first dates. And hey, you haven't jumped out the car yet, so that must mean you don't mind it. Kinda like a knight in shining armor that doubles as court jester. He said, thinking for a moment, keeping his eyes on the road now. And now I get the honor of spending the night with you? What do you mean by that? Oh, okay. I must be on a roll. You roll your eyes, but couldn't help the smile tugging at the corner of your lips. His confidence was ridiculous, borderline cheesy, but charming. See, he's charming. He's in there. The soft hum of lo-fi music played in the background, easing some of the tension in your chest. Something about Avon made it easy to breathe, made you feel safe. Even from the very beginning, when most people would have just handed you napkins and walked away, he stuck around. Yeah, I kind of want to make sure the person didn't die, you know? He always felt genuine, even if he was practically a stranger. Say, you into lo-fi? Yeah, lo-fi cool. I ain't save it, so whatever happened, happened. I love the save scum, but I'm not doing it this time. Especially since this is just a demo anyway. Avon smiled. He seemed to like that. Nice. Knew you had good taste. You chuckled. Honestly, Jim, you'd be surprised how many people only listen to it for studying or background noise. But I don't know. I find it calming. Helps clear the mental static a bit. You get me? Yeah, I can see that. I smiled at him, considering his opinion. I get why you like it. He leaned back in his seat, red eyes half closed as the mellow beat filled the dark car head. What filled the dark car head bobbing gently. So, where exactly are you taking me? Oh, a slight smirk played on Avon's handsome face. That was a little scary. You'll see. No, see, red flag number 1. Heck no, this is your first date. You barely know this man and he's taking you to a place that you don't know. Nope. It's a surprise. A surprise? You're not about to murder me in the woods or something, are you? Avon chortled at the idea. What? No, I don't even have a weapon on me. Relax. Yeah, sure. The night breeze shifted past you as you took in your surroundings. He stared confused in the void of unfamiliar parking lot. Wait, this is a surprise? A parking lot? I gave a nervous chuckle, trying not to seem rude. Not quite. There's that teasing tone again. We're going there. Avon pointed just beyond the parking lot. There, you saw the large gates and a worn stone sign that read Denver, Colorado Cemetery. Is that the cemetery? Bingo. He looked back at me with a look of pride. You like it? Hell no. Girl, I'm scared. Avon held back from rolling his eyes. Okay. Seriously? Yeah, especially you taking me here at night? Heck no. That's romantic and a mysterious spooky. Please explain to me how this is romantic. Even as an Astarian lover, I was absolutely appalled at what they did in that cemetery, okay? Think about it. Peaceful, quiet, no crowds, just vibes. More like just dead people. Alone. Oh, hell no. No amount of flirting could ever make this better. Hell nah, bro. I think this is a big part of why it's scared. What? Are you scared the dead will crawl right out of the ground and eat you alive? No. I just don't like being in the presence of things that are not living. Like, that don't make you feel some type of way. Avon jumped right in front of you with creepy like fingers. I was about to call you a name, but let me not. It's a little bit too early in the video. You jumped slightly from his childish, teasing excuse of a jump scare. Avon snickered at your reaction as you settled back down. Why did he do that? Right? That's why he's about to get called that name. You felt tears perkle at your eyes. Oh no, don't cry. Avon takes notice and sighs with a roll of, oh hell nah, bro. Get him out of here, bro. He puts his arms up in surrender. Okay, fine. Fine, I'll stop. Hell nah. That's how you react after seeing I'm about to cry? Pack him up. Is he upset with me? Yeah, clearly. Bro, I'll punch you in your gut. You force a smile. Yeah, great date idea. Just us and a bunch of dead people. Great listeners. Avon gestures you to follow him. Come on. It's not as weird as it sounds, promise. It is. He looks so excited. What are you planning to do in this I just don't understand what could possibly be so interesting in the cemetery unless you want to show me a loved one. But even then, that's weird as hell because we just met, sir. You and Avon walked along the misty pavement of the parking lot. You slightly behind, shoes crunching the gravel beneath them. As you followed along, it felt as if the path got dimmer and dimmer. The gate looms ahead like it belongs to some sort of gothic novel. It all felt so off, but only for a moment. A small spider skitters across the toe of your shoe. You freeze, taking in a sharp breath, then continue walking a little stiffer than before. You quickly latch onto Avon's arm without thinking. Avon stiffens in shock as he looks over to you. You okay? Letting go in embarrassment, you sighed with a nervous chuckle. Yeah, just didn't really expect this kind of vibe tonight. I can see that. His face softened slightly and gave you a gentle smile. Don't worry, I'll make sure you'll have a good time. And how are you going to do that? Want to hold my hand? Sure. Sure. Or unless you're joking me, I don't know. Is he gonna make fun of me if I take his hand? I'm gonna just take his hand, man. You gently took his hand with a grateful smile. It's warm and steady, like it's guiding you. Something about that brings you comfort. There we go. His genuine smile puts you at ease. I promise not to let any spiders slip under your skin. Slip under my skin? You laugh at his morbid joke. His touch felt grounding, even for a fleeting moment. I appreciate it. We can leave that to the corpses. Despite your own joke, you shivered at the thought. So gross. You scrunched your face up in playful disgust, your head leaning on his shoulder with a sigh. Yeah. Avon's voice trails off as if he were daydreaming about something. Yeah, about what he's finna do to me in the cemetery. That's what he daydreaming about. The past still feels eerie, but somehow less alone. His thumb rubs against the top of your hand as you walk. It's subtle, but comforting. The two of you continue to walk along the gravel path, the gate behind you fading into the dark. Your eyes travel down to his chest, catching a glimpse of his necklace. What the hell is that? Upside down cross? Oh, hell no! Oh, Lord. You were surprised you didn't see it before. Hey, where'd you get that necklace? Avon hesitated, tensing up at the sudden question. Such a sudden interest. Well, it was my dad's originally. Which one? As he averts his gaze, the air suddenly feels thicker. Oh, is it real? Like, genuine? Avon snorted at your question. It's not Shein or anything, if that's what you mean. It's actually from a cult. Like that little pentagram thing? Is that a pentagram? You stopped in your tracks, taken aback by his statement. Was he in a cult? Oh Lord. What the fuck did you get yourself into? Oh man, he trying to recruit me. You're in a cult? I don't think that's the right question. People that are in a cult don't usually know that they're in a cult and definitely wouldn't call it a cult until they're out of it. So, I don't know. There's no fucking way, right? Avon laughed at your reaction. Genuine, but now he was slightly guarded. Not in a way that said he was self-conscious, just as if he was avoiding a really awkward conversation. No, not me. Not by a long shot. He's still laughing. But my dad was. Oh. And you know, the apple doesn't fall too far. I'm not in a cult, but I am a Satanist. Oh. The thing is, I thought Satanists were just people that just kind of just don't believe in any of that stuff. But if he's also doing some weird shit, I'm not into it. I'm good, sir. We cannot mix, sir. Thank you, sir, for your time, sir. I'm confused. I mean, these are not answers I would choose at all. I can't just say it's a red flag because I don't know what all these Satanists be getting up to. So I can't just automatically say it's a red flag. That's like saying how people just say it's a red flag that you like astrology. That shit pisses me off so bad. Because I'm just like, I get it. Some people that are into astrology just be doing weird shit and saying weird stuff. But all of us ain't like that, okay? Whatever. I'm just going to say, oh, damn, that's cool. Because I'm just like, I don't know what else I would say. I was like, oh, that's cool. Probably. That's kind of cool, honestly. Mysterious with a dash of daddy issues, though. Avon paused, watching you for a moment as a smile slowly creeped on his face. Okay, now I'm scared. His voice was low, very amused at your response. Exactly the vibe I was going for. Avon laughed and leaned in close, a content smile on his face. You get it. Most people don't. They don't always like it. Somehow you two felt closer now, not just physically. I like people who aren't afraid of things like that. See, like I said, it depends on what you're doing. If you just chilling and you're just like, I don't believe in God or the devil and stuff, I'm like, okay, that's cool. But see, that's where it confuses me because I'm just like, then that should just be it. Like, y'all kind of like are like atheists, right? Or maybe I'm misunderstanding. Maybe I should just look up what a Satanist actually is right now. I'm confused. Because this is like a worship of Satan, which that's kind of crazy to me personally. Do you? But I'm sure people think I'm crazy for being into astrology and Jesus and all that. So it is what it is. I still don't really understand it. I'm not finna sit here and read through all of this right now because I'm trying to record. But anyways, it's rare, you know, really rare. Yeah, maybe I should have just said it was quirky or something so he wouldn't like me too much. His eyes lingered on you a second too long as if he was weighing something behind them. See, I don't like that. I don't like that. He gave you a smile. One that almost felt too gentle. Oh no, he finna try to recruit me. Lord Jesus. Honestly, that may be what I see in you. Oh, no. No. I'm just not a judgmental person. As long as you're not hurting people. Why I took you out here? Oh, no. Let's be for real. No one would just go on a date with some stranger they met 2 days ago at a warehouse party. 'Cause they're desperate, even though they said they weren't. You're clearly desperate. But I think you see people, you know? Red flag number 2! The words feel flattering, intimate even, but there's something heavy beneath them. Really? Like I said, red flag number 2. You look at him with bright eyes. You think that about me? He smiled at his words. Girl, you literally just went through a breakup. I don't know if you told him that, but either way, he sees the desperation in you and he taking advantage of it. Unless I'm wrong, of course. You're wrong. There's that playful tone again. I guess we'll learn that together then, won't we? Avon turned his face away, hiding behind his fringe, though you could hear his breath hitch slightly. Deciding to change the topic, you cleared your throat. Ahem. As you walk beside Avon, your eyes drift downward, drawn by the way his fingers toy with the pendant around his neck. It's a St. Peter's cross, dangling loosely from a blackened chain. He's pinching it between his thumb and index, rubbing it in slow circles like it soothes him. But it's not the necklace that keeps your gaze this time. It's his hands. The skin around his nails is torn. Raw jacket like he's been pecking or biting at it for a while. Oh, I like clean kept nails. I can't do that. Your hands. What happened? He freezes for half a second, just long enough for you to notice. Then he exhales a small laugh. Too sharp to be casual. He keeps walking, but he shoves his hand into his pockets as if he were a child caught with his hands in a cookie jar. I bite them. Sometimes when I'm stressed. That's unfortunate. You should probably keep fiddling with that necklace to keep you from doing that. Or thinking too much. His tone shifts slightly. It was quieter, distant, like the words are drifting somewhere darker than he's currently willing to show you. You nod, the path crunching under your steps, and don't press further. You want to ask what too much means, but something tells you you don't really want the answer. So instead you walk beside him in silence, Avon humming softly under his breath, the pendant still swinging from his neck like a pendulum ticking down to something awful. The soft curve of the cemetery path crashed beneath your feet as the silence between your steps grew lighter. As the path faded into patchy grass, you noticed something just ahead, laid out like a dream. A blanket, snacks, and a couple of drinks, all neatly placed in the clearing between the old headstones? What? You paused in front of the admittedly romantic display. But why does it have to be in the cemetery? Wait, was this already here? When did he have time for that? Avon glanced over with a crooked smile as if caught. Yeah, I like to be prepared. Yeah, really prepared. He stared at the picnic ahead in surprise. How long did it take for him to do this? Oh, okay. Pretty man. He gave you a charming smile, taking your hand, guiding you to the blanket. He sat with his legs stretched out comfortably, hands falling behind him like this was his routine. Over the years, I've gotten used to setting things up in advance. That's a habit of mine. Sometimes I don't get much time to plan, so when I can, I make it count. His words dipped lower, like he was remembering something, but he didn't elaborate, and you weren't sure if it was really your place to push. You slowly sat beside him, still eyeing the picnic-like setup. So, what is all this anyway? He nods to the blanket and a small spread of food and drinks laid out. Are you trying to romance me or put me in a food coma? You inch closer to Avon, getting comfortable. Avon chuckles, getting comfortable in his position, but not pulling away. A little both, maybe. I don't like that. Let's see. Avon reaches out to grab a bag of chips. We've got chips, plain and spicy, sweet and sour candy, a couple of homemade pastries, sweet ones, nothing fancy. No, I've known you for a couple of days. I will not be eating the food of somebody that I just met and we're alone. No. Mm-mm. No, no. Letting go of the items in his hand, he taps a small cooler near the center. Then water, juice, soda, and a few energy drinks if you're into that. You made the pastries? Avon grinned. What, you think I'm all graveyards? I can bake. He chuckles to himself. Badly, but it still counts. He glanced at the food again, then back to him, and pushed a smile on your lips. This is actually really thoughtful. Yeah, it would have been even more thoughtful if you took me to like a park or something. Like I said, I like to be prepared. You should never forget that. So, drinks, what's your pick? Juice sounds good. You grab a can of juice and raise a brow at the label. Is this blood orange? Avon lights up slightly, clearly pleased. Of course, on theme, right? Had some extras when a friend was over at my place. He takes his own juice can and clinks it against yours. Cheers to sugar. Avon takes a long sip of his own drink, as do you. Ah, that hits the spot. He looked over at the rest of the setup, eyeing the snacks laid out. Okay, be honest. Are you trying to be romantic or just fatting me up for a ritual sacrifice? Avon grins at your question, lounging back on his hands without breaking eye contact. Can it be both? I think that's the best kind of romance. He waves a hand over the snacks. All right, menu time. I gotta pick what snacks I want. This is so crazy. This main character is already here. Clearly, you have no sense of stranger danger. So, pastries it is. You mean you baked? Now I have to judge you. You take one of the small, uneven pastries and raise a brow. Avon smirks but looks a bit self conscious. Come on now, be gentle. They were made during a psychotic episode or two. Psychotic episode? Despite his slightly concerning comment, you take a bite. Sir! Okay. It's actually good. Soft, sweet, and surprisingly not a crime against humanity. It's impressive for someone who sucks at baking. Avon hums, proud of himself. As time passed, you ate snacks and spoke about various things. Sometimes it was about nothing, sometimes it was about an actual topic. But overall, you're both enjoying yourselves and each other's company. You couldn't help but wonder though, how do you even get in here? Aren't you worried about getting caught or something? You were nervous at the idea of a security guard catching you both out here. Avon chuckled, rubbing his shoulder. Not really. Trespassing's never been a big deal to me. Back when I was younger, some friends and I used to sneak into way worse places. Okay. Abandoned factories, rooftops, train yards. Avon's gaze shifted to the side for a moment. A few houses too. Oh, are you still doing those things, sir? He laughed to himself as if it were just a harmless nostalgia. We got into a bunch of other illegal shit. Still, oh. Red flag number 3. He's out. No, I'm not feeling this dude. Nope. No, sir. You eyed him with a weird look, brows raising. But he just grinned wider. Relax, that's not why we're here tonight. Oh my gosh. He gestured loosely to the graves around you. I actually work here. I figured. I was like, he had to work here. Funeral home side of it, or morgue, depending on what sounds spookier to you. So they don't really care when I come in or out, as long as I don't piss anyone off. You know, dig up a grave or mess with a coffin or two. He laughed again like it was a joke. You weren't sure it was. You tilted your head, taking that in. Most people wouldn't go near a morgue, let alone work in one. but he seemed unfazed. You work at a morgue? For how long? Avon hummed thoughtfully. 5 years? Would have started sooner, but I got caught up in some things after high school. Some things. Yeah. Avon sat upright, gazing at the full moon. The morgue doesn't bother you? Or are you like the receptionist or something? That made him actually laugh. No. I do the full works. Embalming, cleaning, and prepping. Down to the nitty gritty. Stuff doesn't really bother me. Never has. He looked at you, and for a second, something flickered behind his eyes. I don't like that. It's all natural anyway. Plus, he bit his lips slightly, a strange glint in his expression. I quite like it. You like death? You hesitated. Or your job? Is he gonna say both? He giggled. Oh, quiet and low, leaning back on his elbows and turning his face away from yours. Both. So not only are you a corpse stylist, you're like a hot grim reaper. Is crazy. Honestly, I'm gonna say that's fascinating because honestly, it is. I'm not saying it's a good kind of fascinating, even though I'm sure this main character probably means it in a good way. I don't know. It's not good. I don't like that. Not that many people can handle death so closely. Avon tilted his head, clearly pleased. Yeah. Most people look away, pretend like it doesn't exist. Okay. He let out a short, awkward laugh, but it wasn't nervous. It was giddy, like something warm had uncoiled in his chest. But I think when you face it, when you can understand it, it stops being scary. Sure. That's not really true, but okay, we can go with that. And disgusting, even. Most people change the subject, but you didn't. Oh, okay. Did I have the option to change the subject? He shifted as if trying to sit still was suddenly harder than it should have been. I don't like that. I think there's something beautiful about it. The body, what's left of us after. I mean, not everyone gets it. He looked at you for a little too long, eyes flickering briefly down your face, your neck, and then back up. He thinking about killing me, bro. Thinking about getting up in my insides. The murdery kind of way. Avon shifts again, fingers nervously tapping against the rim of a nearby drink can. His gaze trailed down, like he's trying to contain something. It's weird, right? I know it is. Yeah, it is weird. God, sorry, that's probably a lot. He lets out a sharp breath and laughs again, flustered but clearly enjoying the adrenaline of sharing this with you. But you asked, and you don't look grossed out. He gave you a gentle smile. So I figured maybe I could be honest. Oh? He looks down at his bitten and jagged fingernails. Oh, yep, nope. He's not for me. He got bitten and jagged fingernails. Nope. No. No. I would have not given this man my number. Nope. There's a faint redness beneath the cuticles. Realize he's been scratching at his palm throughout the conversation. Oh, I don't like that. No. I don't get to talk like this with people. Not without them pulling away. Oh no. So this is why people like us non-judgmental people really have to be careful. Cause you got crazy people, because I'm sure he is crazy. Crazy people like this, they'll be like, oh, you're not judging me, you're accepting of me. And instead of just taking that as the nicest as it is, they gonna decide they gonna take advantage of you and do some crazy shit. So be careful out here, you non-judgmental people. He looks back up, and the smile he gives you is a little too hopeful, a little too hungry. I don't like that. But not you. Right. He tilts his head at you, curiosity in his eyes, but it's not really a question, it's a test. What? I'm just gonna say no, not at all. Cause I think right here I would just be scared and I would just be like, yeah, no, not at all. I just saved though. I know I said I wasn't gonna say scum, but depending on how he responds right here, I might go back. He spoke softly. No, not at all. You don't flinch. In fact, something in you stirs. Whether it's curiosity or something deeper, you're not sure. You leaned in, smirking slightly. You make it sound almost poetic. Aw. I mean, I still think you're a creep. Avon blinks, surprised for a second, then grins, wide, relieved, like he's finally found someone who sees it. God, you actually get it. His hand finds yours. It's cold but steady. And the way he looks at you now, it's like his walls are slowly coming down. The silence between you grows. It's not hostile, but cautious. You glance at him, watching the way he stares ahead, expression unreadable now. The blanket is spread out in the grass. The soft clink of the drink bottles, the faint rustle of the candy wrappers, the hum of the distant wind fill the air. Wow, all this eating has me thinking. I haven't really asked too much about you. Besides work and you saving my ass from further embarrassment. Avon leans back on his hands, giving you a slow grin. Oh yeah, common hobby of mine. But besides parties, cemeteries, and saving drunks. He sat at you for a moment, stifling a laugh. I've actually got some surprises up my sleeve. Like collecting old trinkets, exploring abandoned buildings, watching banned or illegal films. Oh no, 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 no. Stuff like that. He seemed proud of his spread of hobbies, a smile stretching on his face. You seem like the grimy type, huh? There's a low hum in Avon's throat. Mm-hmm. Actually, I really like cleaning. Like, obsessively. Back when I was still with my dad, he kind of stopped giving a damn, so I picked up around the house. I say it's a good hobby for a mortician. Just another part of the job. Wow, polar opposite interests, huh? He breathed in mild amusement as Avon raised a brow like you challenged him. What? No, I have normal hobbies too. He shifts, turning fully toward you, the corner of his mouth pulling into a smirk. He probably caught on that I liked lo-fi earlier. But I also mess with making candles. It's pretty fun. That and I go up in the mountains pretty often to ski or snowboard. Man, do I love it. Just the wind, speed, the crunch of snow. It's dangerous, sure, but that's what I like about it. You listen to him with interest, smiling as he spoke about his hobbies. Avon smiles back before averting his eyes. He clicks his tongue at Dot, voice soft and unsure. Yeah, the mountains are kind of my thing. You tilt your head, about to respond, but Avon opens his mouth first. You cut him off. Oh, I'm sorry. He blinks and chuckles, waving you forward to go ahead. No, go first. You nod slightly before speaking teasingly. So, candles. I never would have thought someone like you would be into making candles. Avon laughs, eyes flickering away with a sheepish smile. Yeah, the doctors say it's nice to have a soothing, calming hobby. What? He looks back at you, catching your shocked expression, then bursts into laughter. I'm joking. No, I don't think he is joking. Rolling his eyes, he continues, his tone softer now. When I was younger, my baby sister, Arden, actually loved him. It was a nice distraction from, well, our parents constantly bickering. His fingers tap idly on the blanket as he speaks, like he was keeping count of his thoughts. I used to just watch her and my mom make them. Avon's face loosened in melancholy. Honestly, I thought it was dumb at the time. Candles, who care, right? He exhales his nose with a he exhales through his nose with a nostalgic smile. Then one night she had to make one for school, show and tell. Mom was working late. Dad refused to help, so there I was in the kitchen trying to make sure she didn't get burned by wax. He shook his head, quietly, lips parting, only slightly before swallowing the emotion that threatened to come out. Instead, he murmured aloud, "She's only 2 years younger than me, but I knew my parents would kill me if I let her hurt herself, so I helped, and I just kept a hobby since then." You hummed in acknowledgement, and he coughed to wave off any lingering awkwardness. Oh, though it wasn't awkward for you at all, he must have felt that way himself. You smiled fondly at his awkwardness, finding it endearing. You shifted uncomfortably, letting out a shiver and curling in slightly, hands wrapping around yourself as you huffed out a warm breath in the air. A warm breath of air. I didn't dress as warm as I thought I did. Oh well. You laughed small and breathy, trying to downplay the visible shiver that ran up your spine. Avon snickered quietly. Well, there's an extra blanket. He reaches over in front of you to grab onto the other side of the makeshift picnic, hands the soft roll of cloth to you without a word. Gently taking it, you bring the fabric to your face, inhaling the scent without thinking about it. Oh, it was nice, soft and inviting. Hold me, even. Unrolling it, you tug it around your shoulders slowly, cuddling into it before holding. Open the other end for Avon. Avon's body stiffened as he realized what you were offering. What? Um, get in here. Okay. Avon crawled over into the blanket, settling in close enough they filled each other's warmth. You couldn't help but let out a giggle at his flustered and awkward state. So, does the blanket smell nice? You looked at him, face red in embarrassment. Yeah, sorry. Avon chuckles. Don't worry about it. I'm glad you like it. I try to keep everything smelling nice, you know. House, car, myself, and even blankets, I guess. You both fell into a small fit of giggles. Oh, some people say walking to my house is like walking to Bath and Body Works. Okay, he let out a giggle snort at his own joke. This was nice. It was weird that despite everything, you still laughed. But the mind has an odd way of handling things. Maybe it was the blanket or the way Avon said it. Well, hey, there's nothing wrong with smelling like a candle aisle. The wind carried the soft rustle of tree branches, and in the distance, the quiet chirp of the crickets tried to fill the silence of the cemetery. For a moment, things felt peaceful. Avon smiled tight in a playful joy. I think that's the nicest insult I've gotten all week. You hummed in acknowledgement. But, oh, have you know that scent is called Midnight Smoke and Cedarwood? Thank you very much. Very masculine. Very mysterious. You burst into a quiet laugh, muffled slightly by the blanket. Really? Thought it was vanilla and cherry blossoms. He rolled his eyes, but the corner of his mouth curled up into a smile. Ha ha. I don't know. I guess I like the idea of comfort. It's nice when everything else isn't. Feel safe, you know? Well, I guess that's true. And it's working. The blanket, the smell, the whole dead people picnic vibe. Kinda cozy in its own way. He turned towards you, his smile softening, eyes meeting yours. Yeah? He paused for a moment, genuinely curious, his hand reaching out slowly, settling on the curve of your cheek. Are you trying to kiss me? What's going on here? You feel safe with me? Hell no. You pause. His eyes on yours, the question lingered in the air, not heavy, just delicate. But I'm gonna go off the vibes of this main character instead of my own feelings. Because clearly this person isn't that uncomfortable with him. You didn't flinch. Instead, you gave a small laugh as heat rose up your neck. Tilting your head, you looked towards him with a half smile. I mean, so far you haven't pushed me in a grave, so that's promising. You weren't sure if you fully believed yourself, but better safe than sorry. Avon let out a low chuckle, shaking his head at your joke. Such high praise. What can I say? My standards are dangerously low. I see. Avon's eyes glanced off to the side, a smirk pulling at his lips. Well, you did give me your number after throwing up. Yeah. Hey, it was out of the kindness of my heart. Plus, probably the closest thing to a fairy tale in the city. Or nightmare. You wondered what he meant by that, but decided not to push and brushed it off with a laugh. Had one too many of those to count. But seriously, this place is kind of really pretty at night. I didn't think I'd ever say that about cemetery. Avon stood up for a moment to properly lay on his side and face you. Yeah, it's quiet, peaceful. Plus, no one ever complains about the music or other sounds. Wait, what? You laughed, pushing his shoulder. Ew. That's weird to say. Calming down, you sighed. So, this is your idea of a romantic evening, huh? Smirking, he nodded. Dead silence. A cozy blanket and probably a ghost or two. Classic. You shook your head, laughing softly at the ghost's comment. Stupid. The shift in tone was welcome, like slipping back into a familiar rhythm. And for now, neither of you dug any deeper. The two of you sat in stillness, your shoulder nearly brushing Avon's. So, tell me something. What do you do when you're not judging people's candle scent choices and getting dragged to graveyards by questionable men? See, he knows he's questionable. You smirked, pulling the blanket tighter like it helped you think. You mean besides silently questioning my life choices? Avon grinned with a chuckle, leaning into you. Well, yeah. I mean, I've got hobbies, sort of. I read sometimes, draw a little, exploring here and there. What? Oh, spiral emotionally on the weekends. The usual. Avon laughed, looking up at the sky. Oh yeah, can't forget those. You both share a snicker before falling into a comfortable silence. So, do you like Colorado? Avon blinks as if the question caught him off guard. Then he lets out a breath and chuckles. That's a sudden shift. Oh. Yeah, well, not everything has to be about death and trauma, right? He tilts his head, considering you for a moment. Then his expression softens just a bit. Fair enough. Yeah, I like it. The cold's a bitch, but the mountains make up for it. Have you always lived here? Avon shook his head. Nah, I was actually born in Mexico. Mexico? Really? He hummed in confirmation. Near Mexico City. My mom moved us up here when I was about 4. Said the air was cleaner. He rolls his eyes at that, clearly quoting. I'm not sure if she meant that metaphorically or literally, but here we are. You nod, slowly taking it in. Do you remember anything from back there? Bits and pieces. The language stuck more than a place, though I barely use it now. There's a moment of silence again, but this one feels easier. Less like a pressure, more like a shared pause. Avon takes a sip of his drink before speaking. What about you, Jim? Born and raised, or did you crawl out some haunted crypt nearby? We're just gonna say born and raised. Boring, I know. Boring isn't so bad. It just means you had time to figure yourself out. Strange, isn't it? What is? How nice it is talking with you, despite not really knowing each other. You nodded in agreement. He was opening up, but so were you. It was nice. He hummed and thought, are you normal? Eh, I don't think anyone is. Really? That's not true. There are definitely some normal people out there, or else we wouldn't be able to call anybody weird. Yeah, just gotta look hard enough. Avon's eyes glance you over, giving you an expectant look as his eyebrows raise ever so slightly. Now, sure, you can say everybody does something that's a bit strange or not normal, but I think what makes you actually like normal depends on if you don't do a lot of weird things. You know, Avon's eyes glance over you, giving you an expectant look as his eyebrows raise ever so slightly. But then he looked away, foot tapping, and thought, I mean, I know I'm not. Avon giggles for a moment, softer this time. I fully get people pretending they are. I would be a hypocrite if I didn't. Just wish I didn't have to. It can be tiring. He speaks of normalcy like it's a bitter word on his tongue. Normal is overrated, anyways. But that's such an ass response. He clearly said it was tiring, so it's not giving that he wants to be normal. It's just more of like he's trying to just because it's normal. I don't know. It's overrated. Avon raises his eyebrow, intrigued. His grin is crooked. Too pleased. Oh my, that excited him too much, huh? You know, I think you're right. Oh no, I'm a bit scared now. What if that inspired him to do some weird shit to me? I kind of think people try too hard to be normal, to put on a mask. But I like being myself. Your words brought warmth to his chest as he relaxed. Yeah, me too. Avon thought for a moment. I was thinking, and I find it surprising still. You, still here talking to me, even listening. But I think I get it now. He smiled appreciatively. You two sat in silence for a moment, watching as the gray clouds passed by, the wind of Colorado passing you by. I was thinking about the whole thing with your family, and I can't help but be a little jealous. Oh, what are you jealous of? Excuse me? Avon looked at you in concern. Yeah, I'm concerned. His eyebrows raising in shock for a moment. You quickly realized your own words and stammered to clarify. Oh, whoa, no, I mean, like, you and your sister, my bad. Oh, okay, why wouldn't you just say that? You're about to piss me off. Why wouldn't you just say I'm kind of jealous of the relationship you had with you and your sister? But I feel like that's kind of stupid to say because you only know one thing that he said about him and his sister, and that was it. You don't know how the relationship is now. You don't know they still talk to each other. Avon nodded with a small huh, and thought for a moment. Well, do you have any siblings? You waved off the idea. Oh no, but it would be fun if I did. I knew you had to be an only child saying something like that. Avon chuckled. Yeah. You lay beside him, eyes drifting once more to the inverted cross pendant resting on his chest. The St. Peter's cross glints faintly under the moonlight. You hesitate, then speak softly. You've talked about your dad a little, but not much about your mom, or your family in general, besides the candle stuff. Right, so it's weird for you to say that you're jealous. Avon's gaze doesn't leave the sky. His thumb instinctively moves to the pendant, pressing it lightly. My dad? You already know. Cold stuff, anger, the whole cocktail. My mom wasn't really around. Not fully. Avon huffed through his nose at the memory. She had this affair with a man. Oh, not like some midlife crisis either. It was long, ongoing. And my dad knew. She never left him though. Oh, that's yikes. Eventually she did. Not legally, of course. They're still married on paper. Isn't that something? Either desperate to escape my father, desperately in love. I never knew. Still don't. At the time, I was too young to really understand. Shaking his head, he continued as you listened with soft eyes. She did eventually have a kid, though, when I was about 2, right before we moved here. Things were fine and I didn't suspect a thing too young to. Then my dad got more violent, angry, drunk, abusive. He chuckles, humorless. I tried so hard to make her happy again. I would stay up all night doing my homework, studying, getting the best grades. She always stressed the importance of it. Would say things like, "Don't worry about mommy, Habibi. Just focus on your studies and I'll be fine." Avon laughed sadly. I believed her. Thought that even when she was getting the lights knocked out of her, my grades of all things would fix it. Man, was I naive. Avon sighed as you listened. My sister? Half sister? Whatever. Mom took Arden and ran when I was about 10. Left me with my dad like I was part of the problem. Oh, for just too much effort to pack up. Can you believe the guy actually moved up here too? Avon rolled his eyes at the thought. She'd check in sometimes, bring groceries, see how I was doing or when I got in trouble, but my dad barely cooked. When I was about 14, she hardly came around anymore. More like once every other month. Dad didn't give a fuck either. Probably too drunk too. Sometimes just too sadistic too. I went hungry a lot. Ate spoiled or raw food until I finally taught myself to cook. Oh yeah, you definitely got a personality disorder. I don't know which one, but you definitely got a personality disorder. Or it could just be a trauma disorder. I don't know, but it's giving the backstory to somebody with a personality disorder. Money wasn't the issue. It's not like we were broke. They just stopped caring. My dad raised me to be detached, I guess. Like emotions were a weakness. He wanted me to be just like him. Occasionally put his hands on me and talk down to me like I was scum. Probably the worst thing he could have done. He never really saw how much damage that shit caused. But watching him beat my mom, Avon spaced out as if dissociating. Yeah, that left a scar big enough on its own. You didn't say anything at first. Just let the silence settle between you. Avon stared ahead, eyes unfocused, jaw clenched, but not angry, just distant, lost in memory. The wind moved through the cemetery trees again, brushing through branches and stone like the dead were listening. He spoke quietly. You okay? He blinked like he'd forgotten you were there, head turning slightly toward you, then away. Yeah, I'm good. He let out a quick breath, shaking his head lightly, as if trying to snap himself back, pulling the blanket that was wrapped between you both closer into his body. Shit, sorry, Jim. That probably got a lot deeper than you expected, huh? Yeah, you're trauma dumping on me on the first date. Wonderful. Like, we barely know each other. You're already telling me about your past trauma to, like, make us feel closer than what we actually are. I feel like that gotta be another red flag, man. He smiled, trying to lighten the mood, but it was more like a mask than anything. It's okay. You kept your tone steady as you smiled. I don't mind. For a moment, his shoulders relaxed. Don't expect me to share my traumatic backstory. Not much, but it was enough. So, what about your sister, Arden? Avon glanced at you, brow furrowing just a little. My sister? We're not that close anymore, see? And you sitting here talking about you jealous. Oh, really? Avon hesitated for a moment. eyes drifting away from you again, looking at an old and cracked headstone. It's not because I don't want to be. It's probably just better this way. His thumb rubbed absentmindedly into the blanket. We text a lot though. Talk here and there, send memes, pretend things are normal. He gave a small, hollow chuckle. Anything but that, huh? Yep, I think I just wish we'd had a real childhood. Yo, this is crazy that, no, like, this is actually insane that you're doing this right now. Like one of those cliche ones with the bike rides and birthday parties and, I don't know, warm kitchens or something. Sort of like the Hallmark movies. Like, this is very cool story wise. Like, it's cool learning about him, right? Game wise. But if we're talking about real life, this is high key red flag, man. And maybe the person who made this game is also thinking about that too while they were writing this. But I don't know. I don't know if this is just a character device thing or like a way for them to just tell you about the character, or if it's also a way to indicate, hey, he this might be an indicator that he's manipulative. Sort of like the Hallmark movies. He shook his head gently with a scoff, like he should push the image away before it got too vivid. She used to visit when I was younger, after she and mom left. Sometimes she'd stay a few nights, sometimes a few weeks. I used to count the days until she'd come back. Oh, that's really sad. I mean, yeah, she's your sister. His voice got more distant now as he swallowed thickly. I got really attached. Mentally, I mean. Probably more than I should have. He seemed to struggle to look at you after that, staring down into his hands. Yeah. Yeah, we're in a bad situation. Unless he is getting help right now. Which it seems like if he wasn't joking about them doctors, but even then, that is not a guarantee that they still won't be acting up. Anyway, we hang out now and then, grab food, walk around. That's good, just not the way I imagined it when I was a kid. He exhaled slowly. Back then, I thought when I got older, we'd just fix it all somehow. Well, do you have any friends? Ouch, how mean. He just said he had a friend over. So he might have friends, but also not really. I don't know, man. He laughed, giving him an apologetic smile. Like, dang, like, were you not listening? Damn. But yeah, I do. Though I'm not sure if you could call all of them friends. Yeah. Tell me about your close friends. I've got a little circle, as you should. Not many people know about them. Not really, just a handful of friends, if you could call them that. They're the ones I can actually be myself around. No mask, no filters, no judgment. That shit's rare. Some of them are worse than me, honestly, in different ways. Sick, twisted people. The kind who should have been locked away years ago if the world gave a damn. Another red flag. Another one. And another one. We've all done things. Things no one should talk about out loud. Stuff that should have landed us behind bars or 6 feet under. But it didn't. It never does. And when I'm done with them, I feel unchained. Like the violence in my chest finally has somewhere to go. It excites me. Keeps me sharp, alive. What the heck do you and your friends be doing? Cause it ain't just sneaking into buildings. And probably stealing shit. But also really accept it? He laughed, not wanting to let off more than necessary. I don't talk about them too much, so maybe in the sea. So you want to trauma dump on me, but you want to tell me about your friends and all stuff you be doing. I don't like that. But I will say this. I introduced Xander to them once. Thought maybe, just maybe he'd fit in. That was optimistic. They scared him. Especially after that cat. He looked at him in curiosity. A cat? Yeah, what the heck happened? Don't tell me they killed the cat. We. Oh, we? Hell no, man. And see, after this, I would continue like it was normal because I'll probably be scared. But then, you'll be getting blocked. And shoot, I'll probably be looking for another place to move, honestly. Because I don't know if you talk to me or know where I live. We don't date men like this. We don't. Like, he's actually, no. Right in front of him. Right in front of him. Oh.
You're sick! You're a sick fuck!
What the fuck? Avon jumped to defend himself. There's no defending this. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. A mistake, really. Oh, a mistake. How do you mistakenly kill a cat? Please explain. Actually, I really don't care about your explanation. Cause still, what the fuck? Avon looked to the side as if he was hiding something. Xander wanted nothing to do with him after that. Avoided me for weeks. Yeah, I would too. Matter of fact, I'm about to do the same thing. West though? West was easier. He's wired for adrenaline. Doesn't even need a reason. If there's a rush, he's in. Tursk hated that. You did not explain how you killed this cat. So how are you gonna tell me it's a mistake, but not explain what events led to it being a quote-unquote mistake? I always tried to keep him out of our mess, but when Tursk wasn't looking, West tagged along just fine. But none compared to her. Renee. Met her on Twitter, of all places. One of those weird, grimy late-night communities. Dark concept art, gore, the darkest, freakiest shit you could find. Oh my gosh, no! And she got me. She's not like the rest. I don't know what she is exactly, but I cherish her. That's not a word I use lightly. Avon hummed, the soft, genuine smile on his face. Oh, I get to ask about all of this? Yikes. Okay, I can't imagine you really had childhood friends, to be honest. So, tell me about your high school, since you said you was doing all that illegal stuff in high school, I'm pretty sure. Especially since you got caught up in some ish out of high school. So, tell me about that. Yeah. High school friends? He thought for a moment, gathering his thoughts. Well, I've actually known Tursk and West since middle school. We weren't the best kids. Definitely not saints. Not even close. That was kind of loud. I don't know if y'all heard that. We used to mess around with this kid, Xander. Actually, he used to be scrawny, quiet, too nerdy for his own good. Easy target. So you were also a bully. Kind of looked like a kicked puppy most of the time. I think we just wanted to see if he'd snap. Yeah, you're not a good person. You're not a good person. He never really did. Avon laughed as if remembering a fond memory. Yeah, a fond memory. See? Bad person. A fond memory of you bullying somebody. You're not saying, oh, I regret it or nothing. There was this one time up on a school rooftop. What the hell, bro? I don't think I want it, bro. I've heard enough, man. I've heard enough. Man, I don't want to hear it. I hope y'all didn't dangle this boy off the rooftop, bro. It was my idea, obviously. Of course it was your idea. Maniac. Psycho. I thought it'd be funny. Give him a little push, you know. Oh, even worse, you shoved him off. Oh, wow. So we're shoving people off of buildings. As a child? Yeah, you should be in a psych ward right now, actually. Were you put in one? I hope that's where you were after high school, and that's where If you were hoping this was gonna be a video of me fawning over some hot pretty boy, you thought wrong. I'm sitting here judging him this entire video. Dumb move, but we were kids. Look, okay, we all have done messed up things when we were kids, okay? We all have. Or even just thought about doing messed up things as a kid. But I feel like when you get to a certain age, especially 25, you look back on the shit and be like, wow, that was really terrible. That was not cool. I'm finna tell the story right now. I remember in like first grade, it was this boy that always would bother me. Like he would stay harassing. For one, people love to harass me. I don't know why. No, I was never bullied, but people just love to harass me. And this boy harassed me all the way from kindergarten up until like 7th grade, until he got expelled from our middle school. But yes, this boy harassed me for 7 to 8 years. But in first grade, I was already tired of him. And I was thinking about mixing some ish up. So I like mixed up the little like the mouth things you pop in, the Listerine little balls that you pop in your mouth or whatever. So I mixed it up with like some other stuff and some glue, and think with my friend. Like me and my friend both thought this. We was like, hey, let's mix this ish up and put it in his desk so that he'll eat it and then, poison him. And so we sit and mix it up. And the fun thing is, even as a kid, right, even though we had this crazy, ridiculous plan to sit here and poison this boy, which probably would have not even worked. But we took a moment. We was like, wait, but what if the janitor comes in and looks at it and eats it? We can't leave it here, so we threw it away. Like the janitor would eat it, bro. She was throwing that shit away. Anyway, oh my gosh, he went right over the edge, broke a bunch of shit. His arm, his ribs, maybe his pride too, bro. It's people like you that be making. It's a Mercury retrograde, bro. I gotta watch what I say. Still breathing though, so not a big deal in the long one, right? Hell nah. You stared in shock. What? Avon looked at you right in the eye, but he quickly moved on instead of explaining himself. Oh, hell nah. See, no. Hell nah. Get this man out of my sight. This date is over. This is what I'm talking about. You see how he don't want to explain himself and his actions and what he did wrong? But he want to sit here and trauma dump on me and explain his whole life backstory and his abusive mom. Shoot, she might as well probably say emotionally, mentally abusive, leaving her child and stuff, and his physically abusive dad. He simply laughed it off. Psychopath. Anyway, high school came around and somehow we ended up friends with him. I suggested, of course. Oh hell no, bro. If I was this boy, I would be finding a way to get all of y'all. I'm not even gonna hold you. I would be finding a way. I would be praying to the Lord Almighty. Like Venom up in that chapel. And Spider-Man. Said it'd be good to keep him close. At that point, he fit in alright. After a bit of rewiring. I actually hate you. Yeah, I think I hate him. You and your friends. It sounds like you're in a cult. Yeah, you're in a cult. Because you rewired this boy into being in your friend group and accepting all the stuff. Yeah, you're in a cult. Xander had been changed into something harder, more useful, easier to laugh with. I'm sorry, I'm stopping. And like, this is crazy. This is really crazy. I was not expecting to play this game and judge it so hard, to be honest. I mean, judge him, really. This game, I like it so far. It's really interesting. I wasn't expecting to find this so interesting. And he had potential. What? You wonder what he meant by potential? We all started hanging out more, studying, crashing at each other's places. I always got the best grades. Hers goes all about football, lifting and yelling about grit. It was either that or superheroes. West was a sugar bomb with legs, adrenaline driven. Jewelry hands, big dumb heart. Always down to try anything if you framed it right. I found it funny. Took advantage of that more than once. Oh my gosh! You see how I already clocked that he was a bad person before he started going on and on about this? There was this night at my house. Wes dropped a cup. Plastic, not even glass. My dad lost it. His shit slapped him so hard the walls shook. Whoa. Poor Wes looked like he'd seen God. Your brows furrowed in concern. What the hell? What happened? I laughed. What else could you do? So, I shouldn't say it like that. So, your dad beat you all throughout your childhood, and you're gonna laugh when he slaps one of your friends? Like, slaps him so hard that the house shook, and you laughed. I just want that to sink in for y'all. He laughed. Tursk didn't though. From then on, he'd bring juice boxes over like Wes was some toddler. Thought that was sweet in a sad kind of way. Not that it mattered. They stopped staying overnight not too long after that. Yeah, I'm glad. You guys stayed friends? Well, college split us up. Kinda? Not really. I switched majors. I was gonna be a nurse. Oh, Lord. I'm glad you did it, weirdo. That got boring. Now I'm in cybersecurity. Makes more sense, right? I like breaking into things, so it felt like the right thing to do. I guess at least you're doing something good with your weird behaviors. Well, I mean, with one of your weird behaviors. You still need some work though. Turk's still playing football, drinking his weight in cheap beer, studying something with dead frogs and scalpels. Biology studying frat bro. Wes, he's doing journalism, wants to tell stories. Kind of funny considering how many of ours he'll never ever touch in 1,000 years. He knows when to keep his mouth shut, usually. I'm getting my master's though now. Still top of the class, still ahead of the game. How the heck are you in cybersecurity, but you also work in a morgue? Xander? Still following along. Though we're hardly in contact like we used to be in high school. Avon thinks as a flicker of betrayal crosses his face. What the hell, bro? Acquaintances, man. Tell me about your acquaintances. Avon giggles as if someone already popped up in his head. This girl. Calbat? Cobalt? I don't know. And I go way back. High school, she used to hang out with Xander, actually. I think they were lab partners or something in middle school. Funny, right? She hated me. Still kind of does. Valid. Said I gave her a bad feeling the first time I spoke to her. I told her that was just first meeting jitters. No, it's called intuition. We aren't friends. Not back then. But soon enough, we both needed cash. Her mom was sick. Really sick. She didn't talk about it much, but it hung on her like a weight. Me, I had my own mess to deal with. You know, angry dad, mom bailed. Bills stacking up like bones. We both needed a way out. So we made one. Started small. Contracts off the darknet. Nothing huge, just hacking jobs. Some light blackmail. Data dumps. We were good together. What the? You raised your eyebrow. He rolled his eyes and smirked. Not in a romantic way. Calm down. Bro. I don't think that's what I'm worried about. Just efficient. She knew how to code, how to keep her mouth shut. I respected that. I pitched an organ trade once. It's just casually. She didn't like that too much. Can't blame her, I guess. She's got lines. Me? Mine's a bit blurrier. Yeah, I already knew that. You didn't need to clarify. Instead, we focused on trackers, GPS mods, burner rigs. custom bug stuff you stick on a carver person when you want to know everything. They sold like crazy. Black market, private contracts. Some guy in Russia who never gave a name, who made a killing. She's sharp and no nonsense. It was way too grounded to fall into the chaos like the others did. Still thinks I'm dangerous. She's right, of course. Yeah. But she keeps answering when I call. And in this line of work, that's all that matters. Avon sighed thoughtfully. Oh, okay. Fine. Childhood friends. Xander. I met Xander when I was 4. Fresh off the move to Colorado. We were kids. Recess friends. He'd follow me around the playground like some sad little duck. All big eyes, scraped knees. At first I didn't mind. He was quiet. Easy. What do you mean by easy? But kids grow. And I started noticing things. How soft he was. How easy it would be to chip away at him. So I did. You got the sense that there was more to it that he wasn't letting off for some reason. I'd shove him through a dodgeball. Say he cried too easy. Again, bully. Pull his hoodie down in front of the other kids. He flinched like clockwork. Eventually, I cornered him after class. Whisper things that stuck in his head for hours. No one likes you. You're just convenient. That kind of thing. Isn't that a bit much? A bit much? Where's your backbone? You know what? I would be scared because you just got in a car with this dude and you're alone in a cemetery. Like, you're not even in public. So really, oh my gosh. Maybe. But I was shaping him, doing him a favor. Oh, Lord. I let him sit with us one day, ignore him the next, toss him a compliment after ripping him apart. Over time, he started hanging on to every word I said. That's when I knew I had him. By high school, junior year, we weren't just friends. We were something else. What, like he was like your pet? We'd do things that make your skin crawl. Break-ins, vandalism, setups. Setups? Sometimes it was for fun. Sometimes it was for a little extra cash. Sometimes it was just to see how far we'd go. How far he'd go. And Xander, he hesitated, but he never really said no. Avon's face flickered with something wicked. Yeah, I'm glad it seems Xander got away from you. Finally, he grew up and realized you're insane. Not when it mattered anyways. We got close. Real close. What the heck does that mean? Your face scrunched in confusion. What do you mean? You know. Yeah, you're a keen manipulator. Like, you are, like, it's high key giving narcissistic. It's giving narcissistic. The way he's talking and how he said he's chipping away with the dude and being hot and cold, and it seems like he also is manipulating. He was manipulating this guy in every single way imaginable. Mentally, emotionally, physically, sexually. Shoot, probably spiritually. Well, Wes did. Ramble about it all the time to terrorists our friends. But most just whisper about it. They never question anything. And if they did, they certainly didn't say anything. I remember laughing once. Thinking how no one would ever believe what we'd really done together. How deep it all went. But then shit caught up to me. After high school, I got into some mess. Jail time. Nothing permanent, but enough. When I got out, Xander was gone. Good for him. We need to give a round of applause for Xander for getting away from this insane man. Block my numbers. See, that's exactly what I need to be doing. Blocking your number after this. Change phones. Yes, exactly what we need to be doing. Vanish like I'd never been part of it. Yes, exactly what we need to be doing. Exactly what we need to be doing. Right now. Avon's grip on the blanket tightened between his fingers, nails digging into his palm. It stung bad. Not because I missed him. Exactly. No, narcissist. But because I made him. You blinked once, then twice, trying to evaluate his words properly. And he had the nerve to pretend like I never existed. You looked in shock, jumping back for a moment. And that's exactly how you should respond to narcissists. You act like they don't exist. They don't have to be a narcissist. But if they do any of these things or anything similar, you just ghost them and act like they don't exist. And move on with your life. I know for normal people, that's usually a hard thing to do, but not for me. Like, actually, like, you were never in my life. Like, who was that? Who are you? I don't know who that is. Wait, I don't even say your name. That's like a curse word. Avon sighed and muttered a sorry. I was pissed. Hurt. Yeah, sure, but mostly angry. I let go eventually. Got into college, started over. Kind of what started over is somebody else that you molded in. Oh, Lord. Then I saw him again on... No, Xander! Saw him again on campus. He looked like he'd seen a ghost. Maybe he had. I didn't rush it. Just gave him space. Time, and wouldn't you know it? No, Xander! No! Oh, no. Slowly he came back around. Or maybe he could have just left him alone. Started messaging. Laughing again. Letting the walls drop. Same old patterns. Same little ticks. Nah, cause like, how we on a date right now and you probably still messing around with Xander? Avon laughed. Okay, wow, you really do have friends. You're not sure what to say at first. His words hang in the air, dense and uneasy. You laugh nervously. I really want to know what the hell is wrong with him, like for real. I do want to know. Is he gonna tell me straight up what is wrong with him? Cause I want to know. He's probably gonna be pissed, but I just want to know what he says. What's wrong with you? You recoil, disgust written all over your face. You killed a cat and thought it was okay? His smile falters, brow twitching his eyes. That's the only that you only have something to say about that. His eyes narrowed just slightly. He was dying anyway. You don't know the full story. Then tell me. But you fucking let Xander around those people. And then you had the nerve to talk about him like some toy? Oh, he about to kill me in this cemetery. See, that's why I'm like, this is a dangerous situation. His jaw clenches as he sat up. He laughs, short, sharp, and joyless. Xander wanted to be there. He could have always said no, Jim. Yeah, sure. Yes, very true. But did you pressure him into it? The answer is probably yes. And yeah, he has the ability to choose whatever he wants. Yes, it's very true. But I'm just saying, it doesn't make you not a terrible person. Avon rolled his eyes dismissively. Except he couldn't. It sounds like you didn't give him a choice. You've never given him a choice. Avon goes to speak, but you're quicker, if only by a second. And don't even get me started on the shit with Wes. He could have been fine, but you just, oh, he finna kill me, bro. He cuts in, voice suddenly louder, tone defensive. I just what, huh? Wes made his own choices. I didn't hold a gun to his head. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if you did. And who knows if your connection with Renee is even real. Avon's eyes stare as daggers into yours. If looks could truly kill, you'd be as dead as the bodies beneath the soil by now. Your tone's even steady. Look, I don't care what you've been through. There's just no excuse. No better that you're also casual about it. You glance away, bring your knees into your body. His mouth opens, but nothing comes out. He stares at you, as if seeing you differently now. Yeah, I'm sure. You thought you could sit here and mold me. No, sir. I mean, he is about to, though. Because this is not a safe option at all. He whispers under his breath with a snarl. bro, we can box in the cemetery right now. I mean, he probably killed me, but still, we can box in the cemetery. You want to go? Quickly, your head snapped back to his gaze. What? What you just called me, bitch? You think you're better than me, huh, Jim? You stared at him in disbelief, weighing your words. But more like you think I'm better than you. Suddenly, this felt less like an argument and more like your life was in danger. Because it is, sweetheart. Your life is in danger. Yeah, I put it in danger. My bad, just to see what was gonna happen. You decided to take things more easy. This was a date after all, and you didn't want your name ended up on some shitty true crime podcast. I didn't say that. That's not, no. Okay, you had to make cash, run through some shit. I get that. But don't we all? Avon let out breath from his nose bitterly. For a moment, you could have sworn you saw black rings with his eyes contract. It's just, I don't know. Do you need help, Avon? There was a pause of silence, a long one. He turns his face away from you, expression unreadable at first. That was until his jaw tightens. His gaze drops to the floor, cold and calculated. Oh, he about to, oh no. When he looks up again, it's not at you, it's through you. Like something behind his eyes clicked. So that's what made you think? Then he smiles. He doesn't say another word, just stares, breathing, slow, eyes sharp, like he was thinking, plotting. As the breeze picked up, you shivered slightly. Avon glanced at you and sighed. Rolling his neck, he looked back at you. What about you, Jim? How's your family and friends? Oh, hell no, bro. He says it like it's casual, but his eyes linger like he's actually listening for something deeper than just small talk, right? I ain't telling you nothing. I got lucky. Both are good. Avon laughed, but it was tight and forced. Oh my gosh. Wow, Jim. Perfect family, perfect friends. What, you jealous? He shook his head, still smiling. Must have had it real easy, huh? Oh my gosh, You open your mouth to respond, but he cuts in before you can. Sorry, it's just wild hearing someone say that and not be joking. Okay. He lets out a short laugh. You don't really know what awful is in. Lucky you. Bro, shut the hell up. Laughing slightly to ease the tension, you decided to move the topic to something more light. You both sat on the edge of the blanket. Your drink settled beside you. I ain't telling you if anything's bad with me, to be honest, because you gonna eat that shit up. I'm good. I know this is the wrong option, but look, I've been appeasing to this man with majority of my choices so far. I think he'll be fine. Hopefully I'll be fine. Avon had been talking for a while, drifting from the subject of classes into random tangents about life. So you're 25, right? Are you still in school? Yeah, I study at Denver University, working towards my master's now. Any good? Yeah, school's fine, I guess. You? Nice, I actually go to a community college at the moment. Saves money. How's the university? That's cool. How the heck we just go to normally talking after that? Lots to do, but sometimes I just ditch and go check out abandoned places or drive around with my friends. Clears my head. You laugh lightly. What do you actually enjoy more? Avon smirked. Both, actually. Man's gotta have hobbies other than death and whatever illegal shit. Your smile faltered a bit at the casual way he said it. Avon's eyes flickered to you. Oh, Lord. He could tell you weren't entirely comfortable with the joke. Avon then sighed and leaned back, flashing a quick smile. My bad. His voice was teasing as usual, but softer now. You want to hear some poems? I don't. You raised a brow. Oh, poems? Yeah, I got a bunch saved. Avon hummed, sitting up and already unlocking his phone. Renee's actually heard some of these before. Bro, I don't give a fuck what Renee heard. You nodded and smiled. Sure then. He scrolled for what he was searching for and began reading. The first one was raw, almost uncomfortably so, about being a desperate child who always felt like an intruder in his own home. Did you write these yourself? I'm assuming so. Avon searched your face for your reaction. I feel like smiling interest is strange, but that's one I'm gonna pick. The second was darker. Oh lord. It was about teenage years, adrenaline filled, defiance ridden, and drenched in trouble. It was full of excitement only committing a crime could give. Avon, search your face for your reaction. I'm just... I ain't trying to get killed in the cemetery. The third and last one felt like it was about someone older. It held the same trouble as the last, perhaps even worse. It was heavy and reflective. Avon, search your face for your reaction. Yep. When he finished the last line, his voice lingered in the air for a moment before he spoke again. I wanted to be a good person once. Maybe I was, but it was so long ago. I'm not sure anymore. Guess that's what shitty parents and no internet safety does to you. That's what your own choices do to you, and not wanting to improve yourself. No. I know people that have had situations like you, and they are not as fucked as you are. They chose to be good people at the end of the day. Anyways, you sat there and thought, and I know everybody doesn't react the same to everything, but at the end of the day, everybody has the ability to be a good person. Yes, people get dealt shitty cards. And it's one thing to be like a bad person, but it's another thing to be like evil. And this dude is giving evil. You sat there and thought, and that's when you noticed a soft patter around you. It had started to rain. The thick leaves above your heads shielding most of it. At least we're under a good tree. He muttered as the two of you watched the droplets fall just past the edge of the blanket. Silence hung between you until you nudged him. Keep talking. He didn't look at you at first, but then his eyes crept slowly to the corner, glancing over at you. You ever want to disappear? Why would you ask me that? You stared in momentary shock. Man. Oh, Lord. I'm knocking over my mouse and everything. Oh, gosh. Oh, Lord. I mean, weird question, that's for sure, but sometimes, not in a literal sense, of course. More like taking a break from everything, a restart. I think we all need that now and then. Oh, damn. What the heck? Damn, did I just... Hold up, huh? Oh, I thought I broke my mouse. Avon looked shocked momentarily, then smiled. Of course you did. You're quite thoughtful, huh? He laughed, mainly at his observation. I am? I guess this is a bit deep, huh? Avon stopped. He with a small shake of his head. No, not at all. I'm actually glad you thought about it. Shows character. You looked at him. I'm not sure if that said character was a good thing or not, right? I don't like that. Avon rolled his eyes. That's a good thing. I like it. People that show something other than surface level, that is. You thought for a moment. Yeah, because you want to take advantage. That's why. That's why you like it. I get you. People kind of just see one side of the coin without bothering to see the other. Avon smiled. It seemed genuine. More genuine than any smile throughout this entire day. The rain that splattered around you grew heavy, cracking angrily in the distance. The trees that once saved you from getting your clothing soaked now did little to help filter out the rain, the blanket around you, both also soaking. Fuck! Oh shit. Damn, I didn't think it would rain. Sure. Sure you didn't. I don't believe you, honestly. I think you're lying. You stood up quickly, trying to block your face from the rain. Avon looked around quickly and grabbed your arm. Come on. He swiftly pulled you underneath a stone hedge that led into what seemed like a mausoleum. You both leaned your backs against the stone wall. Catching your breath after a few moments, you turned to look at each other. You both couldn't help but laugh at the situation. Thanks. Quick thinking there. Yeah, wouldn't want my date to get wet, would I? Ew. Thumbs down. Like the video though, please. Wringing out his hair, he took it out of his ponytail and muttered to himself. He shook his hair out and massaged his scalp, allowing the locks to fall along his shoulders, letting out a content hum. Much better. Oh! He smiled at you, playfully teasing you. You're shivering. Yeah, I guess a blanket can't do much when it's wet, can it? You laughed, pulling your arms closer to your body. If you want, I can hold on to you. We could keep each other warm. Just till the rain calms down enough to walk to the car. Hold me? You suddenly feel warm already. Of course you do. You've... Oh, Lord. Please help the people that get sucked into people like this, Lord. Please. Please. Avon let out a guffaw at your flustered face. Yeah, hold you. Come here. Don't make it awkward. Avon pulled you closer into his chest. He was warm, and his cologne brought a sense of comfort. Same as the blanket did. It almost made you relax against your will, keeping you inhaling and steady. The thing is, you are definitely desperate to still, like, if this main character still thinks, I want to see him again after this, you are desperate. Because he is showing you the red flags off jump. Like, actually, seriously. All the red flags. I get it, though. The thing is, because when they start showing red flags as early, that is very scary. And you're not sure if you should end it because you're fearing for your life. And so you're thinking, maybe I can just make the best out of it. It made you relax against your will, keeping you inhaling and steady. You didn't entirely notice it before, but despite his frame, he seemed well built. Yeah, he used to carry around some doggone knuckles or something, some brass knuckles. Something, bro. His heartbeat, despite everything, was steady. Wait, are those? I think those are actually illegal or something, but I don't know. You better have a chain that you wrap around your fist and pow pow. His heartbeat, despite everything, was steady. You looked up at him as he smiled down at you. Better. Quickly, you turned your head away bashfully. Yeah, actually, a lot warmer now. Your gaze made its way back towards him. The way his wet strands of hair clung to his neck and curtained around his face made you blush. Getting a closer look, you locked onto his eyes. They almost made you forget where you were for a moment. The way the red rings pulsed ever so slightly, it was hard not to get lost in such unique irises. You fell over your words, mouth suddenly dry. Something caught your eye? Or there's something on my face? Dove? You're calling me Dove? Oh, see, he's already deeming me as a pet. Do I even need to say red flag anymore? His voice was soft and sultry, slipping into your ears like silk. What? Oh, wait, Dove? Avon chuckled at your confused face. Dove. Like a morning dove. Ah, I see. Seems so dark. To most. It's sweet in its own way, I guess. No, it's not. It's not, babe. Avon brought his hand to your face and wiped away a stray hair that clung to it. Your cheeks are so warm. Do you like that name? Dove? What? No, I did, but that's not why. It's just that we're super close. Avon cocked his eyebrow slightly. Not used to it? Dove? You didn't say anything, and he let out a sigh. Often thought, letting his hand find its way back to your waist. He simply stared off into the rain and back at you. Excuse me? Excuse me? When he looked back at you, he gave you a gentle smile. It was the kind of smile that could melt someone's heart, and it did. Yours fluttered as you two sat together under the rough patter of rain. I'm not falling for it. He rests your head gently against his chest. The steady rhythm of his heartbeat filled your ears as a yawn slipped out. And the thing is, I was prepared to be like, okay, he's got it cute despite all this stuff, but no, the stuff he said is too crazy for me to be okay with this. The limbs on your body had grew heavy, rubbing your eyes. Your thoughts moved slower and slower. Huh? What? Why is that happening? I don't like that. You hadn't realized just how tired you were after such a long conversation. Avon's eyes softened as he shifted, lowering you against the stone floor of the mausoleum, letting you rest against him. Oh. He sighed in thought, glancing down at you as your eyelids grew heavy. That's fine to nap. I'll wake you once the rain clears, so don't worry about it, okay? He nodded tiredly and finally allowed to sleep. You are insane for sleeping on this crazy, insane man's lap. I don't know what wires got crossed in your brain. I'm just gonna keep reading. As you slept, Avon muttered to himself in thought, I like you. Kinda. In a weird way. I guess I can keep you around, see what you're about. He laughed quietly to himself. Congratulations to you, I guess, huh? Interesting enough to keep around. At least you weren't boring. He leaned his head back against the cold stone wall, eyes drifting shut for a moment. You really are lucky, you know, Jim? You just don't know. Time passed. When you stirred awake, Avon was gently shaking your shoulder. Your eyes fluttered open. Outside the mausoleum, the rain had slowed to a drizzle. Sleep well, Dove. You yawned, stretching as you sat up. I should come up with a nickname for you too. I don't know what it is yet.
Sick fuck!
Yeah, I guess the conversation in the rain really put me to sleep. It's not that you're boring or anything. Your voice is just soothing. Sorry about that. Avon chuckled, offering you his hand to help you up. Oh, good. He pulled out his phone, checked the time inside. It's getting pretty late, huh? I guess I should drive you back home. Hell no. See, now he knows where you live. I already said you had to move anyway. After this, you gotta move. Change your number, all that stuff. He guided you by the hand back towards the soaked picnic spot, collecting a few snacks and handed them to you. For the ride. And like, yeah, I feel kind of bad. I would feel kind of bad because I'm like, yeah, he thought he made this genuine connection, or genuine for him at least. But I'm about to ghost you. Wait, what about the rest of the stuff? Avon glanced over his shoulder and shook his head with a smile. I'll come and clean it up later. Let's just worry about getting you home for now, okay? You nodded, following him down the path to the entryway of the cemetery. Back in his car, he stashed the snacks, then opened the door for you. As you settled inside with a sigh, he slipped into the driver's seat. Before starting the car, he pulled out a long switchblade and placed it casually on the control panel. Your eyes widened in shock slightly at the sight of the blade. Did you always have that? He buckled his seatbelt, glancing between the knife and you. Why the hell did you just show me that shit? No, you threatened me. I don't like that. Hell yeah. Keep it on me in case anything bad happens. Out of habit, really. Oh, see, he could have killed me in that cemetery for real. He laughed nervously, trying to poke fun as he started the car. What, did you think I was some serial killer here to take your organs or something? Avon gave you a once-over and let out a short laugh as he pulled out the lot. You? Not in a million years. You giggled as the car... You giggled. You gotta be scared and terrified. As the car rolled down the empty streets toward your house. The ride was full of chatter and jokes as Avon held your free hand in his, rubbing small circles on your hand with his thumb. Before you stood outside your place, Avon got out too, grabbing his jacket and leaning against his car to watch you as you walked up to your door. Thanks for the date and for driving me home. Avon grinned playfully, rolling his eyes. Of course. Sorry you got wet though. You glanced down at your damp clothes and shrugged. A little rain never killed anybody. I guess you're right. Well, tonight was nice, Jim. I'll let you get inside and settled. You nodded with a smile turning on your heel. But before you could step away, his hand caught your wrist, gently turning you back around. No! Please leave it be! Before you could ask what was wrong, he leaned in and pressed a small kiss on your cheekbone before pulling away with a fond smile. Thanks for the date tonight. Have a good night, Dove. You stammered, cheeks hot. You too. Yeah, blushing, you watched him head back toward his car, but before getting in, he glanced back at you with a small grin. Until next time. I'm blocking you and leaving this town. You smiled and nodded quickly. Yeah. He waved you off and slipped inside, shutting the door behind you. Oh wait, he waved you off and you slipped inside, shutting the door behind you. You smiled to yourself. The date wasn't half bad. A little creepy, sure. Yeah, your standards are in hell. But not half bad. Ending. Oh, I got ending 3 to 3. Until next time. To be continued. Okay. That was chapter 1. That was it for Date at the Cemetery. I hope this video was fun for you. I hope it's entertaining. I hope you learned something. I hope it was good background noise. Whatever it was for you. I hope it was positive. That knife is scaring me. Oh my gosh, he was really gonna knife us in that cemetery if we did too many wrong things. But anyway, whatever this video was for you, I hope it was mostly positive. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.